Castlevania 3, level 8. Maybe you saw my practice runs with the kids' music, maybe you didn't. Now we get serious about this level. First, let's talk about what we're seeing. We are in the main entrance hall to Drax Castle. This is going to be really cool if you are on the blog. I will post another video of level 1 of Castlevania 1, which is this exact same level. The music is even identical, but it's improved in quality from the first game. So let's listen to the music for a minute. They've taken the same melody from the first level of Castlevania, remixed it a little bit to match the improved sound quality of technology they had there a couple years later. And what's extra cool about this, they've taken the time on the details of this to make it look as if this took place a long time before Castlevania did, which of course in the story of timeline it did. Trevor Belmont is the great ancestor of Simon Belmont, the hero of the first game. So you see in the main hallway here, and you watch the other video, most of the statues are still intact. The pillars are old looking, but not so decrepit. In the first Castlevania, which takes place 100 plus years after this game, you'll notice that a lot of the alcoves are crumbling, the statues' heads have fallen off, and the pillars are starting to crumble down. We'll see later as we make our way through the actual castle. A lot of the levels are similar to what they are in the first game, especially when we get to Dracula himself. He is in the same throne room that he has in the first game. And interestingly, which I just had pointed out to me on the internet, Dracula in this game is sitting on his throne, still quote-unquote alive, has not been killed or defeated yet. When you see him in the first Castlevania game, he comes out of a coffin as an undead creature. And the music's just great in this game. But how cool was it as a nod to the first game? And I never noticed as a kid in these platforming games having any kind of coherent story or progress, but the first Castlevania game starts you off in the castle. The entire game takes place just in Dracula's castle. You don't make your way through the countryside of Transylvania like we do here in this game. So here we start to see me using the save states a little bit more, just to save some time for all of us. You'll see me kind of use some of the save states to kind of cheat and get around, and that increases as the difficulty amps up in this game. Just as an adult, I don't have the practice time that a younger kid might have for this game. And because I didn't have it during my kid years, I don't have the experience that a lot of people doing the Let's Play videos have with this. But you saw me in my practice videos dying and exploring. But I found this to be just a really fun, satisfying level to play, not just because of the nod back to the first Castlevania. Just the level challenges were interesting and fun to play through here. The Axe Knights, of course, the slimes. Once you get the rhythm down for both of those enemies, you can clear them pretty quickly, pretty easily. Except when you do stupid things like that. Like hurry. This is definitely not a game for impatient people. I hurried and paid the price. And this is a rather short level, level 8. There's only three blocks to it. Not like the horrible ones of 6 and 7. Just 3 blocks. And I'm starting on the second block here. And you do spend some time, if you're playing patiently, like you should play this game, you spend some time waiting for patterns to go by until you get your opening. Especially fighting bosses require patience more times than not. So current timeline for us in our in moving, we're getting the house destaged from the selling process. We're getting rid of giving back a lot of the decorations we received from our realtor to help make this place look presentable to the general populace. Weather's warming up, so I'm doing some work outside and in the yard to get things looking good out there. I'm having little fires to burn off a lot of the firewood that I've had kind of built up and stored up. So we won't be needing that for too much this summer. I don't think I want to take a lot of wood around during our road trip. It'd be nice to have some free firewood, but the weight and the space that would take up in the car would probably outweigh any benefit of having a little bit of free firewood. Most of it is from pallet crates, or crate pallets, that I got from the local lumberyard when they were throwing them out, and they were deconstructed using a hammer. Actually using two hammers, like a crowbar, using the claw of one hammer and hitting it with the other hammer, just because I just didn't feel like buying a crowbar for a few bucks. I went through all that extra work. That's just the way I run things. We still haven't seen the level boss in this one yet, and there you see me mistakenly use the save states. I was trying to save my state, instead I loaded my states back here. After I did a perfect run of this block, I meant to hit the save state button and hit the load state button, so I lost my progress there. I guess you would just call that karma. That's okay, we'll deal with it. Now, in real time here, in the real world, as of this recording, I have finished Castlevania 3. You won't see the final videos of it for a few more days if you're following as I post them up. But I've gotten video recording of everything. I haven't edited or commented on it yet. There's lots of dying in the later levels too, just to let you know on that. So I'm trying to think of a game that I'll play next for this series. I did start a couple other ones that I may continue with. I might try to play a game that doesn't require much skill, that just requires some patience and not a lot of just dying repeatedly, like this game. I don't know, but this one has been much fun to play. My thumbs are getting kind of sore from my controller. It's not quite as ergonomic and comfortable as the controllers for the real NES system, I remember. That being just really nice using that. What a well-designed piece of technology, the NES controller. There'll never be anything like it again, because games just don't use that stuff anymore. This is a cool mechanic. The bridge starts to fall. As long as you hurry, you're okay until there's an enemy. You have to quickly take him out, and on you go. Now that time the game actually lagged down. Game had a hard time rendering all of that. So here we see for the first time the level boss, Death. The Reaper. So he goes around, throws his sickles at you, and back we are. I loaded my state back here so that I could get my double shot holy water again. So onward we run through here. Death is a revamp of another boss from the first Castlevania game, which I thought was really cool to read about and see. I haven't fought that boss in the first Castlevania game. I understand he's even more difficult in the first game than he is here, from my, I have to say, quote-unquote research. Can you really call research going to forums and game facts? I don't know. Maybe so, maybe not. But it sounds like Death is even more challenging in the first Castlevania game, which we may do someday. Not soon. Not soon. See, I get in a hurry, and I do stupid stuff like that. As much as I did love this game, I was ready to be finished with it, with how frantically I was playing through. I was ready to be done when I got to be done. But I did get awfully good at fighting these Axe Knights. Yeah, I think I died there on purpose just to get back here, because I wanted to get to death with a full life bar. And I've got just the one food right up here. So that hit doesn't bother me. But I get the food here to recharge, and I was trying to get a perfect run from that point to the boss. And also have my double shot holy water. Because I, at that time, wasn't considering using save states during boss fights. I ended up doing it later. And I believe, yep, there's another suicide. We'll get him! But I did want to get a nice run from there. And this one wouldn't have been so bad without the Game Genie code, because it would have just taken me, if I got game over, just back to 8-1. No problem. Right to the front entryway. Looks great. So once we get the house destaged, there'll be another big round of Craigslist selling. Lots of our furniture pieces that we won't be storing and won't be taking with us, we're going to be getting rid of. So it'll be Craigslist and consignment store time again. So that means more checking emails all the time, more people flaking out on me, more of all of that, which is not so fun, but it's really handy to get rid of some of those big chunks. We have some big chunky things and a tiny car, so we're hoping to get some responses there, and I think we will. With the way furniture sells off in this town, it's amazing. And for the prices that we can get for things, especially on stuff that I get for nothing or next to nothing. And I hope to photograph and chronicle all of those stories for you. I think I just did a save state there. You see him pause momentarily after the perfect run of that one. I've got my double shot holy water. And on we go. I want to make sure I keep the holy water, so you see I skipped some of these candlesticks. Like that one right there has another weapon. I skipped that one. That one has other weapons in them, so I skipped these other ones. They basically let you take on death with your choice of Castlevania weapons. I could go in there with an axe, the holy water, the boomerang, the dagger, which is really, really weak. You can choose your weapon to take on death. Holy water has the cool thing where it freezes an enemy, and so the double shot holy water really lets you freeze an enemy still while it continues to harm them. So you see how death freezes momentarily when he gets hit by the flames, not when he gets hit by the actual projectile. That just does one hit and he passes through. I can only take 4 hits in the death battle, but I was able to load my state right there and do another shot. Got the holy water, got my double shot. Again, for comparison, check on the blog page for my playthrough of the first level of the first Castlevania. If you're not on the blog page, it's Iowa, the number 2, Ireland.blogspot.com. That's Iowa, the number 2, Ireland.blogspot.com. All right. One more shot at death. The Reaper. Sickles appear, and then they make a straight line to your position when they appear and go through. There, I got his first form. Now, giant death face. But very, very easy. Freeze him right there. Keep the holy water going, and down he goes. On we go to level 9. Inside the castle courtyard, I would assume. You'll see it when we get there. There's our map. We're climbing our way up to Dracula's clock tower.